on here?
I can explain.
Please do not hurt me.
The message lit up my phone at 9:17 p.m. Going on a sudden trip with my ex. Hope you're okay. Love you. 4A. Beat. I convinced myself I'd misread it. My thumb hovered above the screen, the letters melting into a blur as a tightness seized my chest. She wrote it as if she were mentioning a quick errand. My wife, Emma, had just told me she was leaving town with her ex-boyfriend, and she hoped I was okay with it. My first reaction wasn't fury. It was stunned disbelief. I stared at the message, waiting for a follow-up, some just kidding or a laughing emoji, to save me. Nothing arrived, only the quiet of our bedroom and the soft whir of the ceiling fan. I typed back, no problem. 2 words I immediately regretted. I lay there, phone warm in my hand, trying to coax myself into thinking it wasn't as bad as it sounded. Maybe it was work. Maybe her ex had some useful contacts. Maybe I was being paranoid. But in the corner of myself I refused to face, I knew something was wrong. Emma and I had been married for 7 years. We'd constructed a life of small, steady rituals. Sunday coffee at the cafe on Main, movie nights with pizza, lazy mornings when neither of us wanted to leave the bed. She used to look at me like I was everything. Over the last year, that look had dimmed. The next morning, she was gone before I woke. On the kitchen counter there was a note. Don't wait up. I'll call when I can. No specifics, no explanation, only a promise to call. I tried to distract myself, burying my hands in unfinished work emails. Cleaning the garage, even mowing the lawn twice, but my thoughts kept returning to the same question. Why her ex? That evening I called her straight to voicemail. I tried again. Same result. By the 3rd day I stopped pretending I was okay. I drove to her sister's house. Maybe Anna knew something. When Anna opened the door, surprise turned to guilt instantly. Hey, I said, forcing composure into my voice. Have you heard from Emma? Anna hesitated. She stammered, mentioned a trip with her ex. She bit her lip, eyes slipping away. That pause said everything. What aren't you saying, Anna? She looked down, voice almost a whisper. I think you should ask Emma. My stomach dropped. That night, alone in our bed, I rewound our marriage in my head. The small arguments, the long silences, the way her phone had seemed glued to her hand lately. How many times had I dismissed my gut so I wouldn't appear insecure? How many times had I told myself love would be enough to stop someone from leaving? On the 4th day she finally called. Hey, she said, her voice too light, too measured. Where are you? I asked. Just out of town with Mark. Her ex. The name felt like a stone in my throat.
Why? A pause. We needed to talk about old things. Closure. Closure needed a weekend away. My voice cracked despite my effort to sound steady. It's complicated, she murmured. Please. Trust me. But the thing about trust is, once doubt gets in, it spreads like poison. On the 7th day she came home. She crossed the threshold as if nothing had happened. Tossing her bag on the couch, she smelled of hotel soap and a perfume I didn't recognize. "Hi," she said quietly. I stood in the living room, arms folded, heart racing. "So, how was your trip?" Her eyes darted down. "It was fine. We talked. Cleared the air." "Cleared the air," I echoed. "That's what you call vanishing for a week with another man." She flinched. "You said it was no problem." Because I didn't know what else to say. My voice rose. "Do you even hear yourself? You left your husband for closure with your ex." Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were genuine or practiced. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "Then what did you mean to do?" Silence. That night I couldn't sleep. I watched her breathing beside me. Her face turned away, and all I could wonder was what she had been thinking during that trip. Me or him. The next morning, I found her phone on the counter while she was in the shower. My hands trembled as I picked it up. I knew I shouldn't, but I couldn't bear the uncertainty any longer. The messages were there. Dozens of them. Late-night confessions, inside jokes lovers share, pictures I couldn't erase. She hadn't simply gone for closure. She had gone to try to rekindle what we'd lost. The betrayal seared through me like flame. When she stepped out of the bathroom, towel wrapped around her hair, she froze at the sight of her phone in my hand. "James," she breathed. I looked at her, my voice low, shaking. "How long?" Her lips moved, closed, then opened again. Finally she whispered, "Months." My knees nearly gave way. Months. All those quiet dinners. All those nights I reached for her and she turned away. It wasn't distance. It was him. "I loved you," I said, choking on the words. "I still love you," she said quickly, tears tracking down her face. "No," I shook my head. "You love the idea of me, the stability, the home, but you don't love me. Not enough to be faithful." She sobbed, reaching for my hand. "Please, James, I made a mistake. I don't want to lose you." I withdrew my hand. "You already did." The days that followed blurred into numbness. Friends tried to comfort me. My mother urged me to fight for my marriage. But how do you fight for something already fractured? Trust, once shattered, can't be glued back together without visible cracks. One evening I sat in the living room, staring at our wedding photo. Her eyes sparkled in that frame, her smile radiant. Back then I believed in forever. Now, forever felt like a bitter joke. I took off my wedding ring, set it on the table, and whispered to the empty room, "No problem." But this time, I meant it differently. Not as permission, but as release. Emma begged, she pleaded. She swore it was over with him. Maybe it was. But every time I Looked at her, I saw the hotel rooms. The messages, the lies whispered in the dark. One night, as she cried beside me, asking for another chance, I said the words I never thought I'd say. I forgive you, but I can't stay. Her sobs shattered the silence, but I felt oddly calm. It was the calm of a man who had been gutted, healed by scars, and who realized he deserved more than half-hearted love. The day I moved out, I didn't look back. The betrayal ripped me apart, but it also let me go. Love shouldn't feel like doubt, like checking your phone at midnight, like wondering who she's really thinking about. It should feel safe. It should feel like home. And for the first time in months, as I drove away from the house we built together, I realized I wasn't broken.